Hi, welcome to my very first video. I'm introducing the Butterfly Gala by Stampin' Up. Hope you enjoy it. So here I've just got a piece of card which I folded and I'm placing on top Night of Navy. Nice card, very deep, very rich, very navy. I'm just using a PVA glue to attach it to the front of the card. Looking good so far. Here I have a designer series paper which actually isn't Stampin' Up, and what I'm going to do throughout the tape is to say which parts are or are not. I'm new to Stampin' Up, so my resources and all the bits and pieces I've collected are a bit limited, but I'm getting there, so my collection is growing. I'm just going in now and I'm looking at my butterfly galas and I'm picking a favourite one. It's one I love to do because it paints beautifully with watercolour or alcohol markers. So what I've done here is I'm just blanking out the designer paper so that I don't get ink on it, and using Whisper White ink I'm going to put a print on the side. This is sort of like a little backing print. I'm going to zoom through just so that you don't get bored from the beginning to the end. So I'll show you the technique and then I'll whiz to the end. So I'm just taking off the backing paper using an embossing buddy on the vellum. As you can see on the left hand side, I've put down sizes for you so that I can keep the video short and I don't have to say too much. Says me, saying a lot. Anyway, I'm printing out the butterflies in the same Whisper White ink and I'm embossing it, just using the white embossing powder from Stampin' Up. Looks so nice. I decided to do all three without heat tooling. Now, obviously, this isn't a good idea if you're a little bit messy or if you're all thumbs and fingers. I'm not too bad, so I just decided to go with it. So along this vellum strip, I fitted 3 of the larger butterflies, and using my heat tool, I'm just glossing them up. And don't they look gorgeous? I'm just putting those to the side now to cool down and having a quick tidy up. And here we are, the Butterfly Trio Duet, the Butterfly Duet. This is the punch, the very first punch I ever bought actually, and I cannot recommend Stampin' Up punches enough. They are extremely strong, very firm, and the printout, the actual punch is just crystal clear, so highly recommend. I enjoy using them as well. It's very sort of like, you know, good feel factor. Now you've seen me use it, so I'm just going to whiz through using the glimmer paper. The glimmer paper is going to sit behind the vellum butterflies because the vellum's slightly transparent, so you get this lovely shimmer coming through. They are symmetrical, but that's my favourite thing to do. I do like symmetry. And as you can see from the card in the background, the distance between the end and the actual colour of the card is all symmetrical. So I don't know, I just feel it's pleasing to the eye. So here I'm just folding up the vellum butterflies, and what I'm doing is I'm folding them so that there is a little body, and it's important to have that little body in the centre. Can you see I'm just leaving a little gap there so that you can put the rhinestones on, and the rhinestones will just sit nicely. I'm just using a PVA glue here, nothing expensive, but it's very tacky and very effective, and I'm going to use the same glue for sticking down everything basically, which is quite handy. Now that the butterflies are all done, I'm just going to put that to the side and move on to the sentiment. I'm using the Night of Navy as the background and a small piece of vellum for the front, which the sentiment will sit on. And as before, I'm going to take the sentiment from the Butterfly Gala. I like this one because it makes me feel that the card could be used as a birthday or a general feel-good card, or even a thank you, which is rather nice. So I've just lined up the sentiment to make sure that it does actually fit on the vellum, and it does beautifully. And using the embossing buddy again here, just to keep the static down, it stops the powder sticking to the whole card. My hands are quite greasy. I do moisturise before filming. So I'm just placing down the sentiment. Let's see how that pans out. Nice. Sorry about this, but the actual embossing powder part is to the right. I'll adjust that for my next video. And there we are, looking good. Using the heat tool, I shall just make sure that that's heated and sticks beautifully. I have warmed up the heat tool before I heated up the vellum, only because vellum burns quickly, which I found, and it actually goes brown and nasty. Here I'm using the Everyday Label Punch, which I really like. It's a little bit of extra, a little bit of pizzazz without being over the top, which I like. Nice clean lines, I guess. Punches out beautifully on the Night of Navy. Now, the actual vellum was too small to go into the punch for me to hold with my fingers, so I'm using a post-it note just to stick and hold like a little straw, I guess, and that just helps beautifully. So I'm going to do both sides. Just make sure it's trimmed nicely, right up to those letters. I think it just looks better. And then punch that out, and it's ready then to stick on top of the backing. To stick the vellum down, I'm going to use some glue dots. In this little pack here, which is a case which I've actually bought from Stampin' Up. It stores all my little glue dots and dimensionals brilliantly. I just keep that in my little trolley. I'm using quite large glue dots, and afterwards I regretted it. I wish I'd used smaller, but for next time, we learn, don't we? I've got some linen thread here now, which I'm going to use as decoration. Looks really nice. It's quite fine, it's quite thin, but very strong. And all I'm going to do is just tie a really nice, cute little bow, I guess. When I'm happy with that, I'll just tidy it up and snip off the ends using the Stampin' Snip tool, which I can highly recommend. Very sharp, very precise. Then, using small dimensionals, I shall stick down the sentiment. And I've speeded up this little bit. In fact, you might notice I've sort of like speeded up various bits. Then just stick that down, and the front of your card is ready then for the rhinestones. The butterfly bodies just wouldn't be the same without them. So I love bling, and I think what you'll find is in most of the cards that I'm going to make in the future, there will be some bling or other. As well as card making, I'm a face painter, so along with face painting, I make bling face decorations, body bling, whatever. So I have lots of gems available to me, which is really handy. But Stampin' Up have their own too. Just going into the inside now. I like to add an insert. I think it just adds a little bit to the card. And using my own personal logo stamp there, I always put that on the left-hand side. So wherever I write, I put it on the opposite. A little bit of double-sided sticky tape on the top, and then insert into the card and close. Press down firmly, and you've got your card finished. Obviously, if you wanted to put in a sentiment, you could, but I generally leave mine blank. That way you can use it for any purpose. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. Please feel free to like or subscribe, and I hope you'll come and watch another one. Thank you.